Hello everyone, it's Marina. I'm here to do a project share with you. This is another Large World junk journal. This one I did a little bit different than the last one. This one is all a bunch of random stuff from my stash. And it's a really, really big one. It measures, I actually used chipboard for this and not a cereal box. I didn't use a cereal box. So this one is 12 by 9, and the spine is 3 inches. And I really think I'm going to start making more larger journals because I don't know, I really enjoy making them, and I feel like, I don't know, I really like when they're just larger. And I like smaller ones too. It's just, I think maybe I'm just going through a phase. I do that, so whatever. Anyway, so where to start? I used the paper pack Uncharted. I did use this for my inside pages, some of my inside pages, and I have another paper pack that I used that's different than the rest of the paper packs because I'll have to show you and then explain it because it's a little complicated. But there's also some Keller Kurtz and Company from the Paper Studio in there, and just some other random pages from random paper, just from my stash that I had. This right here, the closure is actually from drapes that I had purchased, and actually these are supposed to be in my room, but I don't ever use them. And when I did have them hung up, my kids always messed with them and took them off, so I was like, okay, I'm going to do something else with this. And I wanted to make a really like a neater closure, so I used the drapes, the drape, I don't even know what you would call this, the band that you can just put your drapes in. And I just put that on here and layered some metals, and then put a little mini drawer pull on there. There's a book plate, says our journey, and then I have some eyelash yarn back here, a Prima flower, and I have the spine is covered with leather, and it's real leather. It's just, the only thing is that you're probably like, it feels really cool actually. You're probably like, what's wrong with that? Because it looks different, is that I flipped it over. Instead of putting it on the right way, I put it on the back way because I liked the texture. So here I have a set of beads, and let me turn this a little bit. Let me close that back up. So I have these beads, and I put a bunch of random ones on here, and I use some string because I don't usually use string. And while I do like to use the metal ones, I thought I'd try something a little different and use the string. It is wax linen thread, so it won't be easily breakable at all. And just put some stuff on there that I've had in my stash. And this one, I really, really love this right here, this leaf. I got this leaf from Butterbee Scraps. And did I? I think I did. I don't remember. A lot of my metal is from Butterbee Scraps, so that's just on the spine. I wanted there to be something pretty on the spine. And so I have these fibers, I have some cheesecloth, there's charms on here and little bells, and then just I have some sari silk ribbon that I hand dyed, and some, what is this, seam binding. And it just comes off, so it's easily removable. And of course these all can be taken off, like if the recipient wanted to just have beads on here or have the chunky charm on here, they could totally remove all this fibers and stuff. I only tied it one time, so they can all come off. I think it's pretty both ways. I really do like all the dangly and jingly. So, I'm going to set that aside and then bring this back over. So, I wanted to show you also that this comes off. I only glued it to right here. That way it would have room to stretch and it wouldn't get in the way. I guess it won't get in the way if I glued it on the back. If the recipient wants me to glue it onto the back, then I will do that. But this is for sale in my Etsy shop, and I will have that linked below, as well as all of my other social media sites. So I have some book corners on here. These are large book corners, and this board that I used is medium weight chipboard, but I made it double thick. I like when I'm making bigger journals, I like to make them double thick so they're more sturdy. Alright. I'm just going to do a flip through. And there's washi tape in here. I did put washi tape throughout the entire journal, like the last one. There are coffee dyed pages and pages that aren't coffee dyed. The larger pages that I use are, I actually ordered this paper online from Amazon, and it was like this huge, like 16 by 19 paper, and it's huge. It's really hard to coffee dye because it all sticks together. So I have to separate every sheet with parchment paper, which is fine. It works. And then other pages that I used are from, I don't have a lot of them in here, but other pages are from an easel roll that I cut and measured myself. So there's a little bit of stamping, some fabric tape. And this is the parchment paper. I love how that sounds. A file folder in here. And then there's a pocket, and I have just lots of random stuff tucked everywhere in here. And these are one of the pages that I altered with gesso. I think this is for the Russian children's book or textbook. And we coffee dye them, and isn't that awesome? So I did some stamping. I put some gesso on here, did some distressing, and did some stamping. And then that all just tucks back into here. Some more stamp pages. And there is a lot of blank pages. Now I don't usually do this right here, but I really wanted to do it this time in this journal. And I considered beads, but I didn't want the frustration. I didn't want the recipient to have the frustration of, you know, having the beads in the way when they write in here, or if they put stuff in here. So I have these tickets on here, just some ephemera, and these little things from Tim Holtz. What is it? Tim Holtz ephemera pack. And then I have a pocket here. And then some ephemera. And this is another one of the pages that I altered, turned into an envelope. I just have a journal card tucked in there. And this one was really cool because I added gesso to it, and then I just distressed the whole thing. So that's how that weird texture came along. I think it looks super neat. And then of course I did a little bit of stamping right there in here. And these just tuck right into here. And then there's another pocket. And I just have some large cutouts in there. I suppose this is more of a travel themed journal. I really like those. I guess I like anything that's travel themed. It's really inspiring. Some ledger paper in the back. And then this paper, this parchment paper. And this parchment paper comes on a roll. So I tear it off in sheets and then I measure and cut it later, depending on what journal I'm putting it in. This is deli paper. And here's another pocket where I just have ephemera tucked in. If you're wondering where I found these, because I've used quite a few of these I found at Hobby Lobby, and they were in the paint area. I think it was by the paint area, but there was every single letter and lots of shapes and abbreviations, and I think they were for color samples. But there are tags here. And then I have painted and stamped this envelope. And size 6 tag. A little bit of washi on both pages. And this is the paper pack I was talking about. I lost the cover to this, but this is basically a watercolor page, so you can bring out the designs. I'm kind of going to move it a little bit. I hope the light catches it, but there's designs on here, and they really are supposed to pop with watercolor. And so I had this idea of making a journal with just this, and just kind of having it be like a watercolor journal, and it'd be fun because you'd see the designs show up as you do it. So this I thought would be really cool to add to some of the journals that I'm making, and I really liked it in here, so for something different, you know. And there are all kinds of weighted papers in here and different textures. I really do like that, so it's not all the same. And I did that again with the center. And put it over here. Some ephemera. So crazy. These are a regular 8.5 by 11. Look how small it is in here. So weird. And that's the other side of that page. And then over here we have some more ephemera. And I have this coffee dyed white bag white paper bag that I painted on and stamped on. And I got that idea from Irene. Hello, Irene. And she actually has a tutorial on her glassine bag, which is super cool. But she gives quite a few different inspirations of things you can try when you're trying to come up with ideas for journals and stuff. It just flips open, and it's there. And I got these on Wish. So if you have a iPhone or a Android, you can get an app called Wish, and there's a whole bunch of awesome stuff you can get on there craft-wise, as well as clothing, jewelry, etc., etc. So, I don't think I said this, there's 4 signatures, and I don't know how many pages I have on each signature, but I will have a total in the description box. That way, if anybody's interested in knowing how many pages are in here, there's quite a few actually. Some more stamping, and another stamped paper bag with some tags in there. Another envelope. And then here, these die cuts were sent to me as a gift, and I turned a couple of them into tuck spots. And so it's a double tuck spot. And on the back I have some more ephemera. And here is one of the larger coffee dyed pages, or sorry, paper bags. I have some washi down here, and then inside I have a bunch of these cards that I was talking about earlier. And I just did a bunch of random stamping on here. And it's also a pocket on the side. There we go. And here is another one of those pages that you watercolor on. And I have a bunch of stuff tucked in over here. Some tags, an envelope. And this one has some pieces of ephemera in it. And again, I did some stamping and painting. And this one has just a card in there. And again, 2 pieces of the center. And there's the other side of that watercolor page. A glassine bag with some tags in there. And then here is a stamped envelope, a coffee dyed stamped envelope. And just tucks back in there. Another bag, and I got this one from, I think I found it on Etsy when I was looking for paper bags or glassine bags. And it's got a pocket here, and there's nothing in there right now. And here is some more tucks. And a craft bag with tags, coffee dyed tags, and a large tag, and another paper bag with ephemera. I think those are paint swatches. I really like this. I have a few of these file folders, and they're really, really interesting looking. I was thinking about turning a few of them into journals. And here's another tuck spot or a doily. And I have these in the center again. Some more washi tape. They just have this little area that flips up. I thought it'd be cute to have like a little picture in there or something. And that's just tucked in. And here's another page that I altered. And that is the back. And I think that is this journal. So there is a lot of cool stuff in here. I had a lot of fun making a different type of closure. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed the flip through. And I will see you guys soon with another journal. Alright, I hope you're all doing well, and I will see you next time. Bye.